In tandem with the showing of the movie, the following is taking place. Winona Ryder goes to see Reality Bites 2, Fantasies Can Also Bite, with Janine Garofalo at the Dream Love Theater in San Francisco. They both order a bucket of popcorn and soda pop. They go to their seats to watch the movie. They see the scene where the real life Mike Meyer is talking to archetypal characters Mike Meyer and Leilana Pierce and giving them advice on how to facilitate Leilana Pierce moving to San Francisco by filming a documentary there. It's always interesting to watch yourself in a movie, isn't it, Janine? Yes, it is. I think people are very critical of themselves, so it can be hard to watch yourself. It's easier to watch other people because they don't really care if they embarrass themselves. How about it? I acted in this movie with Mike Meyer and thought he was terrific in it. His notion that we are predestined lovers is really convincing to me. I would agree with that, Winona. He seems to really believe that the consummation of his love for you would confer immortality to both of you. Immortality is the ultimate human quest. You can have a lot of material things in this world, but when this life is over, the thought of non existence is a thought that is so hard to accept. I wonder where life takes place beyond this tangible reality we have here. I think it takes place in a place that transcends time and space. That sounds like a nice place. Let's watch the movie. Yeah, let's. Winona and Janine watch the movie. Here's a scene from it. Leilana and Mike are sitting in Mike's condominium in San Francisco, looking at night, talking and looking at the Golden Gate Bridge glistening in the moonlight. Like a beer, Mike? Sure, what do you have? Anchor Steam. I love that. It's brewed here in San Francisco. I brought some here. So, Leilana, you like the idea of filming a documentary of Mike Myers' quest to meet Winona Ryder? Yes, I do. But I have to finish my filming with a documentary of the American buffalo in Texas. I'm stuck in Texas for a while. Can you film this for now and then return to that? No, I have to finish it. I'm contractually bound. It sucks. Also, I want you to appear in my theater productions of William Shakespeare plays. Can you appear in them while you are filming your documentaries? Yeah. Would you like to practice some William Shakespeare dialogue tonight? Sure. Mike and Leilana practice again. Here's an excerpt from it. Mike and Leilana thoroughly enjoy their performing the William Shakespeare dialogue and sitting on the couch, talking and looking at the ocean, onto the ocean, near the Golden Gate Bridge. Suddenly, the phone rang. Mike answered it. Hello? Yes, this is Mike. What? That's terrible. I'm here with Leilana in my condominium. It's really bad news, Penelope. I'm devastated. Are you open tomorrow? Good. Would you care if Leilana and I stop by for pancakes tomorrow? Great. We'll see you. This is horrible news for Leilana. What is it, Mike? Pancakes by the Bay was vandalized yesterday. Thieves came in, ransacked the place, and emptied the cash register. It may be financially insolvent now. That is horrible. That is the place where I truly felt that I was falling in love with you. Eating those pancakes and feeling that love. We have to do something about this. What can we do about it? I just thought of something. We can have a Shakespeare festival in your theater. We can use the proceeds to save Pancakes by the Bay. That's a great idea. We need to save Pancakes by the Bay. That was also the moment when I felt that I was falling profoundly in love with you. I could have pancakes at the by the bay at any. I could have pancakes at any other restaurant in America, and they wouldn't taste the same. Have the same taste sensation as pancakes by the bay. Those pancakes have, in my mind, an absolute. I associate them with platonic love. I agree. Would you like to practice some more William Shakespeare dialogue, Mike? Yeah, let's. This really motivates me to go into acting, Mike. I want to save Pancakes by the Bay, and I want to preserve the beauty of our love that is inextricably bound to those pancakes, to their pancakes. I agree. Mike and Leilana practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Here's an excerpt from it. Mike and Leilana thoroughly enjoyed practicing their William Shakespeare dialogue and sat down on the couch in Mike's living room to talk. That is such an exhilarating experience to act with you, Leilana. It is for me too, Mike. Thinking about Pancakes by the Bay and how it was vandalized, it's such an awful shame. I know it holds such beautifully sentimental memories for me. That was a place where I knew I was in love with you. That fact was proven by eating the pancakes. When I thought at first that there was a special recipe that made the pancakes taste so good, but found out that it was love that made sense to me. The platonic love that you could feel for another human being is such a profound pleasure that it transcends any merely physical pleasure that a person can have that they may derive from their body. I think that a union of souls is the only way that a person could truly feel alive in this life. That validating and humanizing love that you can get from another person is a feeling that is not merely a fleeting, temporal, empty pleasure, but a heightened awareness of the creative force that brings meaning to stark material reality and perpetuates the universal dream of humanity to prop up good as a beacon of hope, illuminating souls in a place of evil. Love is not merely physical pleasure, it is enlightenment. In that sense, it can only be experienced by an immortal soul and therefore is proof of the immortal soul. So, yeah, Pancakes by the Bay is more than just a place where I like to pig out on pancakes. It was a place where I first felt enlightened by love. Do you feel like taking a walk to Pancakes by the Bay to see, to look at what conditions in? Yeah. Mike and Leilani walk to Pancakes by the Bay and see that it is in a shambles. Windows are shattered. The cash register has been emptied. The upholstery in the booths has been torn apart. They stole appliances. Food has been tossed about. They painted over beautiful artwork. All of a sudden, Mike gets a phone call. Hello. Yes, this is Mike. What? You are the vandals. I'm here with Leilana. Yeah? You idiots really fucked this place up. Nice job, imbecile. Is there anything else that you're jealous of that you want to destroy? No? Nice try. What? No. We were following our plans to rebuild. Watch us. Go fuck yourself, douchebag. I hope you dematerialize. Who was that? It was one of the vandals who destroyed this place. He said it that if we tried to rebuild, they would try to that they would demolish it again. We must stop them. We will stop them. Leilana, love conquers all. Let's go back to my condominium and practice some more Shakespeare. Yeah, sure. Mike and Leilana practice some more Romeo and Juliet dialogue. Here's an excerpt from it. You are such a wonderful actress, Leilana. I think that if we put on plays in my theater, we will most certainly raise the money to save the theater. Thanks, Mike. I'm so angry about those idiots destroying Pancakes by the Bay. That's a place that holds memories of a profound love between us. I'll make us some pancakes here tonight. That would be terrific, Mike. I have an idea. Would you like to cross over into reality from the realm of fiction to see if Mike Meyer is with Winona Ryder yet? Let's go. How do we cross over into reality? Grab on the bee, Leilana. We'll soon be transported to a reality through a psychic tunnel that I have discovered in deep meditation where fiction materializes into reality. Mike and Leilana suddenly appear in Mike Meyer's home where he is writing the very script that they are in. Hi, fictional me. Hi, Leilana. Hi, Mike. Hi, Mike. Are you enjoying the suspenseful moments that I'm writing into the fictional reality that you inhabit? Yeah. Yes. But we hope that you write Pancakes by the Bay back into reality, into our reality. That's where the suspense lies. You'll soon find out what is to come next. Have you met Winona Ryder yet? It is my destiny. I'll meet her. I hope you write her a happy ending for Reality Bites too. It's a suspense. You'll find out. Mike and Leilana went back to Mike's condominium in San Francisco and practiced some more William Shakespeare dialogue. Here's the next room. Mike and Leilana crossed back over into fiction. From reality materializing Mike's condominium. They're sitting on Mike's couch having a conversation. This is so fascinating to know that we are fictional characters in a script written by Mike Meyer. Our lives seem to have been created in order to fulfill Mike's dream to meet Winona Ryder. Yeah, but as characters created by Mike, we have also taken on our own lives and are in love with each other. Mike seems to really be in love with Winona Ryder. It doesn't seem to be strictly lust, but both physical attraction and a very profound feeling of a need for a union of souls with her and a consummation of his love for her. He does seem to love her. It seems like a beautiful love. Do you feel like taking a walk to Pancakes by the Bay to see if we can fix it? Sure, let's go. Mike and Leilana walk to Pancakes by the Bay to find that it has been rebuilt and redecorated by the very people who vandalized it. It has been rebuilt and redecorated to resemble as closely as possible the set for the scene in Reality Bites where Troy is reading a John Paul Sartre novel. When he is confronted by Leilana, there are people there who look like Winona Ryder and Ethan Hawke, respectively, and are acting out that scene. They abruptly stop acting as Mike interrupts them. What the fuck is going on here? One of the vandals, a guy named Hugh, responds, "We have rebuilt and redecorated this place to resemble the set that takes place in the diner where Leilana confronts Troy about problems in the relationship." It's nice to see that you've rebuilt and redecorated it. How was that possible, considering the fact that you were the people who vandalized the place? When the owners found out that we wanted to construct a place where we could act out scenes in Reality Bites, they approved of it. That's great, Hugh. Is the place still going to be called Pancakes by the Bay? Yeah. That's superb, Hugh. Thanks, Leilana. Let's go back to my condominium and practice some more William Shakespeare dialogue. Sure. Um, Mike and Leilana went back to Mike's condominium to practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Mike and Leilana get up the next morning the next morning. Do you feel like going to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast? Sure, Mike. Mike and Leilana walk to Pancakes by the Bay to see Hugh there with the former owner, the guy named Harlan. A guy named Harlan. This is beautiful. This place has been transformed into a place where a person can feast on pancakes with his or her lover as they watch a beautiful reenactment of scenes from the movie Reality Bites. It's awesome. I guess I sold it to the right person. It's nice to meet you, Harlan. Hi, Mike. Would you people like to see a performance of William Shakespeare plays be performed by me and Leilana? Sure, Mike. Mike and Leilana put out a performance of William Shakespeare plays for those people. The people thoroughly enjoy the William Shakespeare performances and take a walk to the Bay Bridge on that beautiful night. To their amazement, they saw a holographic image above the ocean of Ben Stiller, Ethan Hawke, Winona Ryder, and Jeanine Garofalo in between takes for the original Reality Bites. Look, it's the case of the original Reality Bites and in between takes and a holographic image. Wow. I would like to somehow enter it so that I can speak to the real life Winona Ryder to try to convince her to date Mike Meyer. Is it possible to? Let's see if it is. They scream something to them. They seem to hear it, but as they look at them, but continue talking with each other. It's a fascinating glimpse into the lives of these people during the filming of Reality Bites. It's a Reality Bites bonus feature that can only be seen in the archetypal realm that they inhabit. I really want to talk to them. We could come back tomorrow night. Let's go back to your condominium for the evening. Yeah, let's practice some more William Shakespeare dialogue. They practice some more William Shakespeare dialogue. Meanwhile, in the realm where the original Reality Bites exist, the cast members are discussing the nuances that they want to place in the next scene. Did you people notice that we were suspended above the ocean near the Golden Gate Bridge in a holographic image that can only be seen in the archetypal realm where Reality Bites 2 exists? I did notice that. That must also mean that we can not only see into the future, but we can see into the realm of archetypes where Reality Bites 2 exists in the future. Suddenly, they look again to the realm where Reality Bites 2 is taking place and are approached by Leilana Pierce. Hi, Winona. I'm Leilana Pierce, the archetypal character that was created by you. This is amazing. I'm talking to my own character. I want to tell you something, Winona. There's a guy named Mike Meyer from Chicago who would really like to meet you. In the early 90s, where you are, he's a student at Loyola University in Chicago studying accounting. He fell in love with you watching Heathers and feels that you are his predestined lover. In the year 2022, where he is now, he is a college graduate who has worked in accounting, among other things, but wants to make movies with you. I would love to meet him. How can I? I happen to know that he will be seeing Reality Bites at a theater in Chicago when it comes out. Maybe you should wait for him outside of the theater. When he departs from the theater, you can surprise him. Imagine his sheer excitement at unexpectedly seeing you, Winona Ryder, star of Reality Bites, the movie he just saw, outside of the theater after he just watched it. I think that's an amazingly wild and exciting idea that would be too thrilling and enlivening to pass up. Let's do it. Let's talk about what we're going to say to him in advance. Yeah, we should. Um, Meanwhile, in the archetypal realm where Reality Bites 2 exists, Michael and Anna decide to go to Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast. They're eating their pancakes, watching a portrayal of the diner scene from Reality Bites, performed by two young people. The actor and actresses are dating in real life, falling in love during the performance of their scenes. They're having a fight and abruptly end the scene. It seems that the guy who is portraying Troy is having an affair with a woman in real life who looks like Winona Ryder. Michael and Leilana, disappointed by this, decide to go back to Mike's condominium to perform some more William Shakespeare dialogue. Here's an excerpt from it. Michael and Leilana thoroughly enjoy the performance of William Shakespeare dialogue and sit on the couch late in the evening, drinking beer and having a deeply philosophical conversation. It feels so good just to be in your presence, Leilana. To drink beer and to feel your touch. You have such an insightful mind and beautiful soul. Yeah, Mike, you and me, some beer, some fascinating conversation. That's all we need. Yeah, Leilana, you and me, some beer and passionate love. You got it. That's all we need. My acting performances elevate my soul to a place of sublime peace of mind and transcendent pleasure. I agree, Leilana. This transcendent pleasure is not only a pleasure of the physical form that we inhabit, but it takes us on an excursion into the undiscovered depths of the human soul that can only be seen by enlightened minds that have crossed over from the merely living form of existence tangible world of human interaction to a world of sensuality and pleasure as we stare into the boundless expanse of immortality. It is quite a pleasure. All of a sudden, Mike and Leilani hear a couple fighting in the street below his condominium. It's the guy and woman who portray Troy and Leilani. I hear people from our theater fighting. Let them straighten it out. Let's them perform some more William Shakespeare. Mike and Leilani practice some more dialogue. Here's an excerpt from it. Mike and Leilani thoroughly enjoyed the performance of William Shakespeare dialogue. Leilani slept over at Mike's condominium, and they got up in the next morning to go to Pancakes by the Bay. When they got there, to their astonishment, they saw Troy arguing with the guy who portrays him. Leilani is with me now, Jen. I thought that you were having an affair with another woman. I want Darlene again. My feelings for her have come back. Mike walks up to Jim and Troy to speak to them. This is unusual. You guys are fighting over the girl who portrays Leilani in an adaptation of Reality Bites at Pancakes by the Bay? Why do you think this is unusual? Because you're the guy who portrays Troy, and he's Troy. Troy couldn't get Leilani because she wants me. And now he's trying to get the girl who portrays Leilani in a Reality Bites adaptation? All of a sudden, Troy and Jim get into a bloody fight. Darlene, terrified by this, runs home screaming. She gets to her home, a modest apartment in San Francisco, and sits on the couch of her living room. Suddenly, the phone rings. She answers it. Hello? What? No, Jim, I don't condone fighting. Fighting only perpetuates a vicious cycle of violence. You shouldn't have started with Troy. Our relationship is over. Darlene goes back to Pancakes by the Bay the next evening to see if they have somebody to take the place of Jim in the play and finds that they have replaced him with Troy. This is great news, isn't it, Darlene? I'll be starring as Troy in the play. Isn't this bizarre? You are going to be portraying Troy in an adaptation of Reality Bites, the movie in which you starred in as Troy. I like the idea. It's a brilliant adaptation, a lot of expanded dialogue, containing philosophical ruminations, among other things. Yeah, it's going to be outstanding. Let's go back to my condominium and practice some more dialogue. Sure, Mike. Mike and Leilani practice some more William Shakespeare dialogue. Here's an excerpt. Mike and Leilani got up the next morning and went by the Pancakes by the Bay for breakfast. They are sitting in a booth having a wonderful conversation when they see Mike Meyer, the guy who is writing the very script that they are in the street. He looks at them suggestively, indicating that he wants to talk to them. They walk outside and talk to him. Mike, fancy seeing you here in the realm of your own script. I crossed over because I want to talk to you about something. What do you want to talk about? See me tonight at the Golden Gate Bridge at moonrise. We see you there. The moon comes up and Mike and Leilani meet Mike Meyer by the Golden Gate Bridge. Beautiful night, isn't it? Yeah, it is. I want to talk to you as an archetypal character in my own script because I want Winona Ryder to see the movie and feel the passion for me that I feel for her. I have been watching her movies most of my life, my adult life, and I have such a deep connection to them that it transcends ordinary human experience, taking my mind, body, soul, and spirit to a place of numinous beauty in this world of struggle and mundanity. To actually get the opportunity to meet the woman who I feel I am predestined to live immortally with would be an experience of such significance that would bring my life to where it was always supposed to be. I think she's going to be inspired by that statement. I'll see you again. I'm going back now to the mundane realm of tangible reality. We'll see you, Mike. Mike goes back to his earthly place. Mike and Leilana, or Mike Meyer goes back to his earthly place. Mike, excuse me. Mike and Leilana go back to Mike's condominium and practice more William Shakespeare dialogue. Here's a nice verb. I'm going to get my William Shakespeare dialogue. Okay. I'm going to start with Romeo and Juliet and then maybe do another one too. Okay, let's see. Scene 2, Capulet's Orchard. Enter Romeo. He just has scars that never felt the wound. Enter Juliet by the window. But soft! What light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou her maid art more fair than she. Be not her maid, since she is envious. Her vestal livery is but sick and green, and none but fools do wear it. Cast it off. It is my lady, oh, it is my love. Oh, that you knew she were. She speaks as she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses, I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. Two of the fairest stars in all of heaven, having some business to entreat her eyes, till they twinkle in their spheres, till they return. What if her eyes were there, they in her head? The brightness of her cheek would shame those stars, as daylight doth a lamp. Her eyes in heaven would through the airy regions stream so bright, that birds would sing and think it were not night. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand? Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek. She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel. For thou art as glorious to this night, being over my head, as a winged messenger of heaven. Into the white, upturned, wondering eyes of mortals who fall back to gaze on him, when he bestrides the lazy pacing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air. Oh, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name. Or if thou wilt not, be but sworn by love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet. Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this? It is but thy name that is my enemy. Thou art thyself, though not a Montag. What's a Montag? It is nor hand, nor foot, nor arm, nor face, nor any other part belonging to me. Oh, we see some other name. What's a name? Or what's in a name? That which we call a rose, by entering in the name, would smell sweet. So Romeo would, were not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes. Without that title, Romeo doff that name, and for that name which is no part of thee, take all myself. I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo. What man art thou thus bescreened and night so stumbles on my counts by name and not of tell me of him. My name, dare say, is hateful of myself because there's none of thee. Had I had written, I would tear the word. My ears have not drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering, yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague? Neither fair maid, if neither these leadest like. How canst thou hither, tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb. And the place death, considering who thou art, if any of my kinsmen find thee here. With love's light wings did I ever perch these walls. For stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love can do, that dares love attempt, therefore thy kinsmen are no stop to me. If they do see thee, they will murder thee. Alack, there lies more peril in thine eyes than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity. I would not for the world they saw thee here. I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes. And thou but love me, let them find me here. My life were better ended by their hate than death prorogued wanting of thy love. By whose direction foundst thou out this place? By love that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me wings, and I lent him counsel. I am no pilot. Yet were thou as far as that vast shore, washed with the farthest sea, I should adventure for such merchandise. Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush, maiden blush be paint my cheek. For thou that which others blah 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 blah. Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I vow that tips with silver all these fruit tree tops. Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconsistent moon, that monthly changes in her circled orb, lest that thy love prove likewise variable. Which shall I swear by? Do not swear at all, or if thou wilt swear by thy gracious self, which is the God of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee. If my heart's dear love, well, do not swear. Although I join thee. I have no join this contract tonight. It is too rash to advise too sudden. You're like the lightning which does cease to be. Everyone can say light and sweet good night. This bud of love, by summer's ripening breath, might prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night, sweet repose and rest. Cut my heart as that with my breast. Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied? What satisfaction can thou have tonight? The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine. I gave thee mine before thou didst request it, and yet I would it were to give again. Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love? But to be frank, to give it thee again. And yet I wish for the thing that I have. My bounty is boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. There's calls within. I hear some noise within. Dear love, adieu. Anon, sweet, our good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a level. I will come again. 3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, by one that I'll procure to come to thee. Where and whence, what time thou wilt perform the rite, and but if the beseech thee, blah 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 blah. So thrive my soul, 1,000 times good night, 1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love Love goes towards love as schoolgirls from the books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks. Rihanna Juliet above hissed Romeo hissed. Oh, for a Faulkner's voice to lure this tassel gentle back again. Bondage is hoarse, and may not speak aloud, else would I hear the cave where echo lies, and make her airy tongue more hoarse than mine, with repetition. It is my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet sound lovers' tongues by night, like softest music to attending ears. Romeo, my dear, at what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee? By the hour of 9. I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I forgot why I did call thee back. Let me stand here till thou remember it. I shall forget to have thee still stand there, remembering how I love thy company, and I'll still stay. To have thee still forget, forgetting any other home but this. 'Tis almost morning, I would have thee gone, and yet no farther than a wanton's bird that lets it hop from her hand, like a poor prisoner in his twisted gyves, and with a silk thread plucks it back again, so loving jealous of his liberty. I would I were thy bird. Sweet, so would I, yet I should kill thee with so much cherishing. Good night, parting such sweet sour, that I shall say good night till it be tomorrow. Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast. Would I were sleep in peace, so sweet to rest. Hence will I to my ghostly father's cell, his help to crave and my dear hap to tell. I must indeed, and therefore came I hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon these gone. Let them affright thee. I do beseech thee, youth. Put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. Oh, be gone. By heaven. For I come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, and be hereafter a mercy run away. I do defy thy conjuration, and I apprehend thee for a felon here. Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee. Oh, they fight. I will go call the watch. Oh, I am slain. If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet. In faith I will. Let me peruse this faith. Mercutio's kinsman noble, County Paris. What said my man when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or am I mad? Hearing him talk of Juliet to think it was so. Oh, give me thy hand, one writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave? Oh no, a lantern, slaughtered youth. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there, a dead man interred. How oft, when men are at the point of death, have they been merry? Which their keepers call a lightning before death. This is an interesting insight from William Shakespeare. I think what he's implying with that phrase, with that little, is that there must be some kind of like survival instinct built into the human psyche where right before death, you feel a sense of unabandoned, unbridled joy. It's a way of handling death, a way of conquering the fear of death. Let's say you've got just a few seconds left to live and you happen to know that you're about to die. There's got to be some way to conquer your fear of death. Okay. Oh, how may I call this lady? Oh, my love, my wife's death that hath sucked the honey off thy breath, hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered. Beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks. So this is really kind of like there's like some kind of like morbid curiosity thing going on. He sees that Juliet is dead, but she still retains her beauty at the moment of death. And he's still in appreciation of her beauty after she's dead. I think that's a very fascinating notion. And it kind of speaks to the kind of like true love that he has for Juliet. And death's pale flag is not advanced there. Tybalt, liest thou there in thy bloody sheet? Oh, what favor can I do thee? That with that hand that cut thy youth to twain, to sunder, is that was thine enemy? Forgive me, cousin, dear Juliet. What art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe the unsubstantial death is amorous? And that the lean, abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear that I still will stay with thee, and never from this place of dim night depart again. Here will I remain with worms that are thy chambermaids. Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars. From this world-wearied flesh, eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh, you, the doors of breath. Seal the righteous kiss of a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come, bitter conduct. Come, unsavory guide. Thou desperate pilot. Now, at once, run on the dashing rocks, thy seasick, weary bark. Here's to my love. Oh, true apothecary. Thy drugs are quick, thus with a kiss I die. I hear some noise. Lady, come from the nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our interests. Come, come away. Thy husband in thy bosom lies there dead, in Paris too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not the question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet. I dare not stay longer. Stay. Go thee hence. Okay, that was enough of that. I think I'm going to do a little bit of Macbeth. And Macbeth, introduction by Dorothy Macmillan. Macbeth, famously short and concentrated for whatever reason, has imprinted itself as a play of evil, human and supernatural darkness, blood and battle, issuing, it would seem, out of the imitation of a culture stark and primitive, even to Shakespeare. Its deployment of witches, air-drawn dagger, apparitions, and walking woods, its tight focus on Macbeth and his lady, they seem to provoke excited wonderment, which, nevertheless, does not trouble audiences into introspection. What, after all, has Donna's name to do with most of this? Yet the most celebrated question asked about this play remains, I think, the much mocked enquiry of A.C. Bradley: how many times children had Lady Macbeth? L.C. Knights, in the essay which takes its title from the question, rebukes this curiosity, claiming Macbeth as a text which may be examined like a self-sufficient poem. If Shakespeare wanted his audience to know how many children Lady Macbeth had, he would, Knights believes, have included the information in the play, but then if he had wanted the audience to worry about it, he might have left it out. Bradley's is a question that cannot be asked without the attention being directed to Macbeth's dissatisfaction with the Baron's scepter and his right and to all the other children in the picture than the flesh that inhabits the play's spaces. It may well turn out that an emphasis on babes is a fruitful key to the production of the meaning of in Macbeth, as is fixing on bedlam, blood, and battle. Lady Macbeth needs to invoke an unnatural desexing as a preparation for murder and express her murderous commitment in terms of the destruction of the babe that milks me. Yet it is her memory of her own father that shakes her violent resolve, and it is a disordered girl that she sleepwalks and dies, overwhelmed by a deed that the eye of childhood could foreseen as murder as much as the self as the other. Macbeth, more prescient, imagines the pity that Duncan's murder will give rise to, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, powerful to in its very gentleness. After the murder, he finds out that he's given birth to a new and intolerable self, dislocated from his former life. He must be this self until his final mutilation, which is merely the physical fulfillment of his psychic disfigurement. But if Macbeth's former self becomes for him an enemy to be obliterated, so too does his country. With the escape of Fleance, the barrenness of his scepter is confirmed, and the act is exposed in its naked lack of meaning. All values of stability and continuity are subsumed in the animal need for immediate security. The consequences for Scotland are equally pictured in terms of children, specifically of Macduff's family. Macduff is, of course, himself the bloody child of the witches' apparitions and becomes Macbeth's nemesis, but the play does not absolve him of blame for the death of his family. His failure to protect them is, however, a demonstration of the appalling difficulty of remaining true to domestic pieties and a polity which is founded on their violation. The death of Macduff's son, like the later death of young Seward, is an act of as awful as is affecting. Yet in the courage and faithfulness of these children lies Scotland's hope. And in the fragile, threatened sweetness of Lady Macduff's relationship with her son lies the key to the proper meaning of kinship. As a public guarantor of the private space within the human life, he finds its fulfillment. Macbeth is made tolerable in the end because he recognizes this, longs for the honor, love, obedience, troops of friends that his deed has denied. To himself and to his subjects, Malcolm's promise to perform what is needful in measured time and place celebrates the restoration of the ceremony of innocence, the violation and power of which he has signaled equally the bloody babes of Macbeth. It has been suggested that Macbeth was performed at Hampton Court around 1606. As a compliment to King James, thought to have descended from Banquo, keen on the divine right of kings and unquestionably interested in witches. There is no record of such performance, but imagining one cannot feel that it would have been an unmixed compliment. Admittedly, it is not necessary to be a very good king to be better than Macbeth, yet the play's persistent reminders of the duties of kings to protect the weak and the innocent might well seem presumptuous. Nor could the witches show off kings have taken only as compliment, for missing from the line is the mother, Mary Queen of Scots, without whose beheading James could scarcely have been where he was. It is at least awkward for a king to have had his mother the victim of public execution. The absence of a mother's children, the absence of a child's mother, may help account for the special character of Macbeth. Act 2, Scene 1. How goes the night, boy? The moon is down. I have not heard the clock. And she goes down at 12. I take it to this hither, sir. Hold, take thy sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. Take thee that too. A heavy summons lies like head upon me. And yet I would not sleep, merciful powers. Restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to repose. Enter Macbeth and a servant with a torch. Give me my sword. Who's there? A friend. What, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. The diamond he greets your wife withal, by name of the most kind hostess. And shut up. All's well. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you, they have showed some truth. I think not of them. Yet, when we were to entreat he would, at your, if you shall cleave it to my, okay, so let's see, is there any more of those? Okay, this shall be continued.